Good afternoon. Welcome to St. Joseph's College, Devgiri, the Faculty Development Program. Today is day 4. Today we have Dr. Lal CA. Dr. Lal CA is a professor of English in the University of Kerala. He coordinates the MA program in the School of Distance Education and is a member of the Faculty of Arts and Board of Studies BA English of the university. He is also an English language trainer and a teacher educator. Alumnus of the International Visitor Leadership Program of the US State Department. He is involved in ELT related academic engagement in the UK, Indonesia, South Korea, Nepal, and Qatar. I'm very happy and pleased to introduce Dr. C. Lal to you. Our association has been going on for about 5 or 6 years or so. And thanks once again, Dr. Lal, for coming in. Over to you, Dr. Lal.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, yeah, I hope all.
You may please unmute.
Yeah. Okay. I hope I am audible and
yes,
visible. Yeah. After a while, I'll be turning up the camera because I'll be using the same camera for a couple of demonstrations. So a very good afternoon to all. I can't actually see anybody because I am sharing my screen, but it's okay. I assume there are about 26 people listening to me and seeing me talk. And today the topic is teaching LSRW skills and specific focus on a couple of applications. But I thought I won't be talking much about LSRW skills, but I'll be talking more about the applications and about technology in relation to teaching. So we are at such a stage that we have been forced to use a lot of technology. So whether we want it or not. And we have done a remarkable job. In the last 1 year, we have done a remarkable job getting used to all kinds of things which we have so far not been used to, and maybe some things that we have been kind of avoiding. So in a way, the present pandemic is a blessing in disguise, which, well, if I may be pardoned for saying that by the millions of people who suffer. But in terms of technology, this kind of forced us to into it, and which is inevitably going to be here even after the pandemic. We are going to use all these technological things we have been using, particularly to teach English language. I understand there are also a couple of other language teachers, but I think whatever I say will apply to them as well. So in order to keep me focused, I have a couple of things written here. One is very often when in my university as well, I have taken upon myself the task of encouraging colleagues to use technology. And there are excellent users who know immense lot more than I do. I am not that into technology, only the kind of things that an English teacher might need to know. Even I'm not an advanced user of technology. My specialization is not that. But out of interest, I have been talking about these things for some time. So one thing I've noticed among my colleagues, particularly as a little bit senior colleagues, late 40s, early 50s, is that they have this feeling that you need to study a lot before starting to use technology. But by technology, I simply mean maybe using a PowerPoint, maybe using Zoom platform as we are doing it now, and all those apps that we talk about. And perhaps recording, making a video recording of your talk, or maybe creating an audio recording of a class that you do. All these things, which many of my colleagues, whom I see as representatives of teachers across the world, have a feeling that they have to study a lot before trying to use them. Well, this is in a strange way related to language as well, because many people, particularly in India, have this feeling that you need to learn all the nuances of the language before starting to use it. that perhaps is a limiting factor which hinders our use of English, or maybe mastery of English to some extent. Well, the same way we have this inhibition, this feeling that one needs to learn a lot. But but I'm sure most of the teacher participants are proficient users, but there may be a few who are kind of tentative in their use of technology. To them, I would like to say that, we are not developing an application. So I've written here coding an application. You're not creating an application. We are only using it. It's just like making a washing machine and using a washing machine. So very often when you buy a new gadget, like these days, electronic washing machine or any instrument, you will have a lot of complications there. You may have a panel with so many buttons, with so many indications on it. Many of them you are never ever going to do. So if you get a washing machine, and you start using it, you might need only a few operations for your need, your kind of need in your home, depending on what kind of use you put yourself into, whether you get too much dirty or whether you sweat a lot, etc. You may need only a few programming to be done, and that can be done with the press of a button or the other. So you never buy a washing machine and spend 2 months studying it before starting to use it. The same way, technology as well, in terms of whatever application we use in our phone or in our computer. I have seen teachers, making exhaustive notes about how we can use a PowerPoint, or how you record a video, etc. It doesn't work that way. You don't need a note for that. You straight away start using it, and you learn by using. So that is one point I want to make, which may be redundant, but keeping in mind many of my fellow workers, I thought I need to put in this word of encouragement, that using an application is simple. You're not making it. The difficult thing would be to make that, which has been done for us. So we are just users. And we learn by using it. Okay, that's one thing I wanted to tell you. And another thing is, when these days we do a lot of presentation, a lot of teaching online, and it's very important that we present ourselves well. How do you present ourselves well? Of course, you comb your hair and all that. Everybody does that. But another thing is, a couple of things we need to make sure that the light falls on your face. Very, very often even in webinars, we've seen presenters having a big window at the back. That means you have a flood of light behind you and you are a big shadow. And so make sure that you sit facing the source of light so that your face is lit up, if you want to show your face. Another thing is that very often we have this problem with keeping the camera. At present, I am not very sure because I can't see let me take a look at myself. Yeah, I'm okay now. So very often we have this problem of having only a little bit of your visible. And sometimes when you have this webinar, you have the resource person, you see only the nose above. You see, you have this kind of problems, which is very, very important. Anyway, we are going to use technology for long. We need to learn to adjust our cameras in such a way that you're visible properly. At least this passport size visibility should be there. That's very important, how you present yourself. Very often we think, after all, it's an online thing. Well, I don't have to worry. But these days, an online platform is where people see you. So that is important. And another thing is, very often you have people having a ear thing, you have earphone kind of thing, and keep the thing very close, the mic very close to the mouth. It looks very awkward. Sometimes some people even bite the mic and keep it in their mouth and then do something else. Well, it may, presents you in a very awkward light. So the better idea is to have a microphone. It's an investment. You have two options. Let me see if I can show you this window. Well, you can have this kind of mic. This is only about 1,000, less than 1,000 rupees. This is a lapel mic which you can use, which is attached to your shirt, and it may be just a little bit visible, but it will give a good clarity to your voice. I hope you can hear me well. And I am using a different mic. And for my purpose, I use this thing, which can be kept on my table. It has a tripod and it picks up voice very well. So I don't have to worry about the microphone hanging and people not being able to hear you. So that is one important thing. How the mic is set is very, very important. So from maybe times are coming when we are going to do our job interviews, promotion interviews, many more things online, and you need how impressive you are is important. And using a mic is very good. A mic that kind of doesn't create an obstruction. And the background, you can see that I have a nice bookshelf behind me, or at least that's what I believe you are seeing. It's actually not a bookshelf. It's an image that I've just put there. What I have is I have a black background behind me. A black cloth is suspended behind me. But actually it's a green background I should be having. I do have one, but it's in my office. And so black is not a brilliant idea. So I would recommend you to buy a green cloth. You search backdrop cloth, and it costs you just around 400 rupees. A very good quality cloth, which you can kind of create a curtain behind you, so that it becomes very useful. You can change your background very comfortably. Now I have not done the right thing because I don't have the green one, but the black serves its purpose in some ways. Background is important because recently I got a video from a department for the university YouTube channel, and it was an excellent talk by a lady on medicine, Vedic medicine or something like that. But unfortunately, we could not use the video because this lady was sitting and talking. She was well dressed in a pattu sari and all that. But unfortunately, behind her, there was a stand on which all the laundry of the house was suspended, including a trouser with belt, everything. So you can't have that. See, and it's interesting that she was making a present. The poor lady was not conscious of what's happening. So that is very important, very, very important. Your background, what is in the background, is very important when you make a presentation, or when you give a talk, or when you take a class. So that's quick things. And before we come to my job of talking about technology in teaching English. So while teaching English, often you have this need to make recordings, edit your PowerPoints, and edit your audio, video, etc. So I was thinking of talking about 3 tools today. I will try to do at least 2. One is the application called the OBS Studio. So one second. Okay, my poor presentation has gone to hiding. Okay, I hope. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Audacity, OBS Studio first. OBS is Open Broadcasting Software Studio. So you can create, and again, another debate that we often have is when we create online courses, we need videos. And very often people believe we need a very sophisticated studio for that. Good to have if you have a sophisticated studio in your institution, but actually you don't need that. It's good to have a good camera, and a temporary kind of thing also will do, because that is more practical than having a full-fledged studio. But that's a different topic. I don't want to spend time on that. I am just saying that you can convert your own laptop into a studio and create videos. And all you need is what I am using right now is I have my laptop. I have this external microphone, as I told you. I showed you the picture of the external microphone, this one. This can be put in different positions, as you can see. It used to be about 4,000 when I bought it. Now it looks 1,000 rupees less. It's very powerful and good. It's YouTubers, people who sing, etc., use these kind of things, maybe. But for teachers, this is perfect. Well, the point is, yeah, you want to create your video class. All you need is you can use your laptop camera. It's fine. But though I am having an external camera right now, and also you can have this microphone, and that's all you need. And then you need an application to do this work for you. And that is what I'm going to show you. And this is that application. So many of you, I'm very sure, are users. But yeah, let's get, for those who are not conversant with OBS Studio, or those who have not tried it, well, this is the time to do that. Well, I hope my screen is visible. Premanand, sir?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you very much. Okay. So once, and I'm not going into downloading OBS Studio. It's OBS Studio. You can download it if you're using a Windows machine or a Linux machine. You have versions for that. OBS Studio is free, and free in the sense for us in India, because we use a lot of pirated software. Everything looks free. But this is free in another sense as well. It is not charged. It's not a pirated application that we use. It is offered to you free, and it's also regularly updated. So it's a stable thing. For all our practical purposes, this is enough. But for advanced users, you can use more advanced paid applications. But here, this is the interface of OBS. And you have two modes. You can switch to a studio mode. On the right side, if you can see my mouse pointer, when I click studio mode, it splits into two. We don't need this normally. The studio mode is there for online streaming, which is a different thing. It's good if you can do that, but we are not talking about that. So we switch off the studio mode. If your OBS Studio opens in the studio mode, please switch that off. And that can be done using the controls button on the right lower part. You can turn on and turn off studio mode. You don't need studio mode. This is all you need. Now I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to stop my camera. Forgive me. Okay. Yeah, that's because normally a camera can be used only for one application. If I'm using that camera for Zoom, then I won't be able to demonstrate it here. That's why I've turned off my camera. So we are going to look at three things now. One, how to, first of all, we are going to talk about how to have your own video in OBS, how to trim it, and how to create a background. So these are three things we are going to look at first. So this is how the OBS will open for you. And on the left side, you have a box called scenes. You can have multiple scenes. Normally, I use only one scene for my purposes. It's good to have. If you have two scenes, you can have PowerPoint in one and something else in another, and you can keep switching them while recording, which is good. Well, advanced users can certainly try that. Then you have the sources here. Well, you have the scene. It is this scene we are going to use now. I am going to add a couple of things to this scene. First of all, I want my video. Therefore, what I do is I click the plus here under sources, and I go to video capture device. Okay, and I give OK. And then I hope you can see me. You see me as I really sit in my room right now. The visual gimmick of the books have gone off. Again, I want to know: is it clear? Seen my?
Yeah, it's as if you're sitting on a chair or something like that.
Exactly. That is what I'm doing. I have a screen. This is how I am sitting right now, a black chair, so that against a black background, if I keep a different image, that chair also will disappear. Unfortunately, sometimes my hair also will disappear. That's one thing. But and I have a black background. Well, this is simply because I have only this black cloth available right now. So if you're doing Zoom or if you're doing Google Meet, this black will be there, and you can kind of blur or whatever. Well, but if I had this, if you had a green background, I could have done a few more things. But it's okay. So what I'm showing, let me begin from the beginning. I'm going to add this video capture device. I've added here. I'll remove that and I'll show again. I click plus. I click video capture device. I click OK. And then I click OK again. So my video has come here. So I can bring it here like this. I'm keeping it in the, so the idea is I'm going to make a video recording of a talk that I'm going to make. So this is how I would bring in my video. And this video, I can stretch a bit like this. I can make smaller. But sometimes this is not enough for us. We might want to trim our video. That's what I want to demonstrate. So what you do is you press Control, you press Alt, and then you slightly move the edges and you can trim your video. Okay. So you see, I've made your video to the size that you want it. And you can even make it smaller if you like, and you keep it in a corner. See, this black screen is what will be recorded. So what we are talking about is how to use OBS Studio to make a recording of a talk that you're going to make. If you're not going to have a visual, a PowerPoint or anything else, if you're going to have only your audio and video, then you don't have to put your video in a corner. You can have it full here. But as I said, my idea is different. I want to have more, so I keep it at the corner. So that is all prepared. I just want to tell you, if you can drag and make it bigger, and if you want to trim, please remember you also press Control, Alt, and then drag. So in that way you can trim your video. Okay, let my video be there in a corner. And next, very importantly, I should never forget, because if I have this video and start recording, only the video will be there. I need audio as well. So again, I go to plus, and there at the top, there are two options: audio input capture and audio output capture. So what I want to do is to input my audio. Because from the mic, I want to put my audio in. So I'm putting in audio input capture. I say OK, and I choose, because I'm using an external mic. You can see there are 3 microphones listed. One is the default one of my laptop. The second Prose webcam, there is a mic in my webcam, and that is displayed here. I can use that if I want. My mic is good actually. And then I am now selecting my third option here, which is the external mic I told you about a while ago. It's there on my table, and I click OK. That means that my voice is being picked up by my external mic, and that is also ready for being recorded. So in this project right now, I have only 2 things: my video and my audio input. The audio output is also very useful. Suppose I want to record my Zoom interaction. Suppose I am taking part, or I am listening to a Zoom program or a Google Meet program. What I would do is, I would, for the video audio aspect, I would click audio output capture. And that means the computer audio will be captured. So that, please keep that in mind. And if you want to take a bit from a YouTube, you would be adding the audio output capture. That means the sound of the computer will be captured. So when I'm using the input capture, only the input will be there. Okay, whatever this mic captures will be there. The sound that comes from the computer will not be recorded. If I want that also to happen, I need both output and input capture should be there. So to keep matters simple, I'm just saying that I have input my video here, and I have added an audio input capture, video capture device and audio input. Only 2 things have been done. Now perhaps I want to add my PowerPoint. Then what I would do is I'll again click plus, and I would click window capture. I'd click window capture, and I'll give OK. And then I need to decide which window I'm going to capture. Let me see. I'll say I'm going to capture my PowerPoint. Okay, and the PowerPoint has come here. And now I'll show you. I'll go to the PowerPoint and perhaps, yeah, I've made it bigger. Okay, and I'm coming back to my and here I want only the screen. So what I would do is, again, I'll want to trim this. See, I'm going to trim this. I click Control Alt and then drag this much. Control Alt and drag this much. And here also Control Alt. If I don't press Control Alt, then it'll just be stretched. So again, Control Alt drag, and I keep it here. I drag the screen to the full. So now I have only this trim area in my um, on my screen, and I'll bring my. I want my video now is hidden. So you see in the bottom there is up and down arrow. I'm going to try this up arrow. Yeah. So trying using those arrows, you can kind of bring your video to the front. So here, if I am using this, I'll be able to, and when I record, and I can simultaneously use my PowerPoint and whatever is there, and also uh, I can have my video on the screen. In fact, in the initial videos, I have been making videos since lockdown. I thought the image of the speaker is not important, so I never used to appear. Even now, I don't do that much. But in actuality, people like seeing you, the speaker, as often as possible. That gives a human touch to the whole thing. So it is good to have this camera, and many interesting things can be done. Now my video looks very formal with the trim passport size cutting. You can kind of apply fade and all that, but those are things that you need to find for yourself. If I say all those things, that will make it confusing for people who are only beginners. Okay. No, the beginners wouldn't be the right word. Only people who are a bit shy to use technology. Right. So now what I have done is I'm going to create a recording of my talk. So I have put myself here. I can and yeah, I have and I can move my camera wherever my image wherever I want. I have kept it here, and maybe if I want to have it bigger, I drag it like this. So this is very good for me, and everything is ready. Now I want to record a video for my student. So I have my video capture device chosen. I have the in Windows capture. Let me take property and show you. What I've done is there will be many windows open on our laptop or computer, and you choose the one you want. So when you click the window here, all the options will come, and you choose the one. Here it is written presentation WPS Office. So that's a open source application instead of Microsoft Word, and I use that. So I'm selecting that, therefore that appears in the background, and I showed you how I trimmed it. Now I'm all set for recording. Now what I do is my microphone is ready, camera is ready, PowerPoint is ready. I click start recording here. I click start recording. Now it has begun recording. Whatever I say, whatever is on the screen will be recorded. And what I do is I quietly keep the window like that. I don't minimize it, but in the back, and I open the PowerPoint. Now I don't see OBS Studio. I only see the PowerPoint, which I have shared, and I'm going to talk about it. And I'll also move the PowerPoint to my convenience. I go from page to page, and I talk, I say this, say that. I have done everything. And after I have finished, I click the Audacity icon at the top of your laptop, and then I click stop recording. So as soon as I click stop recording, the video is rendered, and it is saved in a file that you have. Very often it is saved in the videos file. You can change it. There is something called settings here, and I'll show that later. In settings, you can determine which um, uh, folder your video should go. Now my video that I recorded would have gone into this videos folder, as it usually happens. So this is it. See this, and I'll play it for you. Now it has begun recording. Whatever I say, whatever is on the screen will be recorded. And what I do. Okay, so you see that video has been created and it is safely in that folder. So that is using this OBS Studio. I have recorded that video. So but you need to be careful here. For example, I had not planned for this to be here. Therefore, this Control Alt drag is here. So if you plan to have your video in this part, you accommodate your PowerPoint in such a way that all the writings and images come on the other side. Those are things you can do without much difficulty. Suppose I don't have a PPT. I don't have a PPT. I just want to talk to you against a background. That also I can do. I can remove this window capture. I can hide by clicking the eye here. It goes away. And I click the plus sign and I add an image. Okay. I browse and I go to wherever my images are kept and I click the image I want. I give OK, and there is this image at the background. So, and I put my photograph up by clicking here, right? So now, if suppose I want to make just a talk without a PowerPoint, and I want this as the background, I can keep it here and do it. But this is all easy things. You can the little more what shall I say? A better thing you can do would be, let me make my video wider. Okay, wider. If I have this, the background, if it was green, what I could have done is, I'll show you what I could have done. I've selected my photograph, or I'll select video capture device here. Then I click filters on that. Have you seen that? Above here, there is properties and filter. This properties and filters stand for the particular input you have chosen. Now I have chosen video capture device and I click filters. See, it's filters. In filters, click this plus here and you take Chroma Key. This is only if you have a green background. Take Chroma Key, and what you can do is, when you as soon as you take Chroma Key, you will find that your background has disappeared. So that's a very convenient thing. If you have a green background, or maybe a green, very green bed sheet or a green sari behind you, if you can hang, and take this Chroma Key filter and do a little, very minute adjustments here, a little this way and that, you can make your background disappear totally. I hope you understand. If that happens, unfortunately, I don't have the green cloth, or you could have seen it. Then what will happen is only my face image will be there. The back, and if I sit on a chair which doesn't have a back like this, only my image will be there, and I will be. It will look as if I'm sitting against the background. So here it is an image of the university. If it's a PPT, it will look just like you are sitting there near the. And if you make it small, it will be very good, because only you will be there. Only your image will be there, and in all the place where this black is seen also will blend into the background. So that's very good. It's simple. Please remember, use a green cloth behind you, and go to video capture device, and take above, go to filters, click plus, and take Chroma Key and close. Very often that is enough. Those adjustments may not even be needed. So that is how you have this. If you want to remove your background, that is what you can do. I hope I have not confused you, but these are things. And as I told you, it's like using a washing machine. You open it, you try many things, and you'll find out very convenient things. What we are concerned about, you're creating audio video material for your learners, English learners or Hindi learners or Telugu learners, whatever language you're trying to teach. So that is that's what I'm trying to talk about here. Now let me see what all I have covered. Trimming, background, Chroma Key, and I have also talked about window capture and PowerPoint and image. Another thing is, if you go here, the thing is, you are, by giving window capture or image capture, you are displaying only one application. Suppose you have multiple, so for example, I want to take a class and I want to go from this slide PowerPoint to another window which has an image and maybe to a video, etc. I keep moving. The best thing would be, instead of taking window capture, go to plus and take display capture. Okay. If you take display capture and you click OK and you start recording, whatever you do in the computer, you kind of play a video, you draw a picture, whatever you do, whichever window you move to, everything will be recorded. All the things that you do on the laptop will be recorded. And if you also have the audio input selected, all the music that is played, everything, the audio that is heard, everything will be recorded. This is very convenient window capture. This is display capture. I'm hiding it now. Yeah, I'm going back to the window capture, hiding image also. By clicking the eye here, you can hide. Okay, so this is and what happens is you click start recording, and it will start recording. And if it is a long event, I start recording. And remember, never minimize any window when this recording is going on. A minimized window will not be captured. So if you comfortably minimize your image file, it won't be captured. Okay. So you are now recording is going on. You see left side, top, right bottom, you have the recording button here. Recording is going on, and in between I can pause if I want. Suppose there is going to be a gap, I can click the pause here. Just click the pause there, and now the recording is paused. And for example, if I do this, when I record a class that I take using Teams or Zoom or Google Meet or WebEx, I often record. And what I do is I record. And sometimes I give students a break, then I'll come and pause this. But one tragedy that can happen is you might start your class without remembering to unpause. That means the rest of the class won't be recorded. So you need to be a little careful there. So unless it happens to be a long break, we need not do that. But that convenience is there. You can pause, and if you click that again, recording will continue. So you can pause and unpause. So that is one provision that is there. So you have this final product, the video that you have recorded, which is very convenient. And for those who are already using this, maybe what I've said have added some bits of information to you, But if you, but still, I even now I would go to YouTube and look at tutorials, OBS tutorials, and learn more. But as I said, there may be a lot of things possible. I can create a watermark. I can create so many things can be done. But those are like all those functions in the panel that you never need to do in the washing machine. If you are an expert user, if you're interested in it, you want to spend a lot of time, you can do all that. But for a basic user, a teacher who is rather timorous with all these things, you only need this window capture, audio capture, audio input capture, and window capture, audio input capture, and video capture. Only the three things you need. And with that, you can create excellent videos. And now I'll also, before stopping OBS, I'll go to settings. Initially, you can have this, go to the settings, and a couple of things are here. One is, in general, there are a few things you can plan. For example, where the quality can be determined. 1 second. Yeah, only the essential. Normally, the settings are all what is preset for you is enough. But suppose you want the audio to be, the video quality to be better, you can go and select and have a higher option here. But generally, you don't need, and hotkeys is convenient, but I don't use hotkeys. So this is a setting where you can decide into which, what shall we say, which folder your image is saved and what quality your image should be, etc. But again, I have actually never done any change in this. I use the factory setting for that. Okay. that is setting is there. But you don't, normally all you need is open it, add whatever you need to the scene. And if you want to remove one, click that and click minus, and yes, it's gone. So it's as simple as that. So that is how you use OBS Studio for recording. Now let me see what is next in my plan. Yeah, and now I quickly move to the application called Audacity. Very often, it's very convenient to have just the audio file because audios are easier to share. Uh, Let me move back to my camera. One second. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but if my camera is back, it's good. Yeah. So what I was saying is,
Yes, camera is back.
yeah, good. Thank you. And yeah, I forgot to stop recording. Anyway, it's okay. So in using Audacity, you are capturing your image, your image and whatever you use on the desktop. Sometimes that is not needed. You can. There are a couple of things. For example, you want to create a audio little file using your phone. You record using your phone, and it's easy, and you can send it to your students. But if suppose while you record it, there was a lot of background noise. Sometimes when I decide to have a little recording of on my own, a crow decides to sit outside my window and start crowing. It's a beautiful song it probably attempts, but it's very disturbing. So in the background there will be this cawing sound, or maybe the hooting of some other bird, or maybe the voice of sound of a fan that keeps it persists. Some external sounds could be there, which if I want to make it more perfect, in my practical experience, there were a few classes that I had recorded. Well, when we actually had classes, large, crowded, noisy classes, there were a few classes that I recorded. What I would do is I'll keep my mobile recording on, keep it in my pocket, and walk about and teach. And this is because we have hundreds and hundreds of students. I teach in the distance education center, and we have a lot of students. So I would like to share my classes with them. Therefore, I record that, and I'll demonstrate how this is Audacity, the application called Audacity, which is opened. And you can use it for simple things like you can record your own audio like this. You click recording and you talk, and that is recorded. That's a simple thing. But I am, because time is short, I wouldn't dwell much on that. This is something you can do if you want to record a class using Audacity. The quality will be much better. Okay, and you can get the right output as well. See, audio like this, you click recording and you, yeah. And after I've recorded, what I would do is I'll go to file and I will export this as an MP3. Okay, and I save it, and then I get whatever I've recorded as an MP3. I don't save it. There is a save button. Where is the save? Yeah, there is a save project. We don't do that. You need not do that. If you save the project, the whole project you're doing will be saved as a bundle, which is not something we need. What you do is you export. That's a simple thing. I'm going to close this without saving. No. Okay. Now, what I want to demonstrate is I have a video, audio, which I'm going to bring in here. Let me open, go to downloads, and this Cleopatra class. I've just taken a segment so that we can save time loading, for example. If a longer file take longer time to load. Okay, this is only, let me see how much this is. This is only 18 minutes. This is 18 minutes. You see how it is very packed. Now I want to edit this, and to edit it, this is a soundtrack. See, there are two tracks. This is a soundtrack, the recorded speech, and I'm turning it on. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, I don't know if you could hear the sound, but could you hear the sound?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, good. There was a big humming sound. That is the background noise. It persists. Often it goes on throughout. So I want to remove the first thing I want to do with this cleaning up. So I've recorded it. I want to share this with my students. I might want to do a couple of things. One, remove the background noise so that it becomes less, it's more pleasing for the person to hear. Secondly, I might have left many gaps in between, and that gaps can also be removed. And there are so many things you can do with Audacity. Audacity is a very excellent application of which I know only a little, and it can be used for a wide variety of things. But I am just telling you a couple of things that will be very useful to an English teacher who want to create audio stuff for the students. Well, so what I would do is I'll go to view and I will go to zoom and I will click zoom normal. So now I can see it more clearly, the soundtrack. This big patches here are the place where I speak. The others are simply noise. So for example, in the beginning, there is noise. I select a bit of that noise. See, I've selected a bit of the noise part. There I don't speak. My speech comes only from here. I have selected a bit of the noise patch. Or maybe here after the classes begin, maybe the background noise is a bit less. So I take a sample from this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that disturbance from the whole file. That's what I'm trying to do. So suppose this is the audio that you recorded at home and the background, there is this crow or the squirrel or the fan or your children, something that keeps on going on, that keeps on throughout your talk. Take a spot where only that disturbing part is there. Your voice is not there, but the other disturbing sound is there. For example, in this part, let me play it. Only the disturbance is there. My voice comes a little grunt came here, so I'll remove that. I'll take this part. Okay, I've taken it. And then I click, well, I'm going to click effect here, effect. To effect, I go to noise reduction. I've selected only a little part. I've clicked noise reduction. Here, I won't go for noise reduction because I want the computer or the application to be familiar with the part that has to be removed. Okay. So I click get noise profile. Now the application has taken into its memory this bit of part, which is something that I want to remove. So that has been assigned to its memory. Now I click Control A and select the whole file. And I go back to effect, I go back to noise reduction, and I click OK here. I click OK. It takes time, but if it is a longer file, it will take longer time. But this, because it's only about 18 minutes, it won't take much time, I hope. I'm applying noise reduction. What is happening is the application is removing that part it memorized from the whole file. If it is the sound of the crow or the sound of your baby, whatever, see, that has gone to a considerable extent. Now let me listen to it. It is relatively much less than it was before. And you can also see that all the big disturbances have gone off. So this is the way you remove the background noise from your recording. That is point number one. What I did was I selected, I clicked effect, I took noise reduction, clicked get noise profile, then I can select all here or click Control A, go back to effects, click noise reduction again and click OK, and the whole noise is removed. So that is one useful thing about this. Another useful thing is you have this recording and you have many gaps. Imagine you have many gaps, or you have said something that you don't want the students to hear again. So when you are talking, you might have made a mistake and you've corrected yourself. You said something. All this happens internationally to all teachers. So don't feel bad if you say stupid things in the classroom, because we all do that all the time. So suppose you have said something, you made a comment which you really didn't want to, a rude comment, or maybe it's a joke that you made which you don't want it to be there. It's a live classroom, it's okay, but in a recording you don't want that. You can actually listen. I have done that. You listen to it from the beginning, and suppose at this part you have a little part you want to remove, a joke that I made, I'm going to remove. What I do is I select that part. I say this is the joke part. I don't want it to be there. What I do is I just click delete, and that part is gone. It's as simple as that. You select the part you want to be gone. How you do is you select that and you can play and see if, see, you can play and see if it is a part you want to remove, and click delete in your computer, or right click. Is it possible? No. Well, because of this.
Scissors are also possible.
Yeah. So you can also cut it out. Yeah, right. You can cut it out. And because of the zoom thing on the top, I can't see properly. Anyway, yeah. So thank you, sir, for that. Yeah, you can cut it out. If you cut, it will be assigned to its memory. You can paste it somewhere else if you like, or you can select and click delete, and you can delete it. So you have cleaned up all those parts. That is one thing. And suppose then, if you have the habit of speaking slowly, leaving gaps, your file will be of about 1 hour duration, but you might have talked only for maybe 50 minutes. So 10 minutes of intermittent gaps are there. As a whole, you can remove that. Sometimes that is useful. So the students can listen to your whole talk in a lesser period of time. You select everything, go to effects, and you click truncate silence. There are so many options here, as you can see. I'm not going to use any of those. I'm just clicking truncate silence. And if I click OK, I'm not clicking OK now, it will remove all those little gaps where you don't speak. All those silences will be removed, and you will get a more compact audio file. So that is Audacity. The things I think I wanted to tell you about Audacity is that remove change. Yeah, that is. And before I conclude, these are the two apps I meant. If I had time, I thought I'll also talk about what's it called? Where is Audacity? Oh, yeah. I meant to show you open shot editor as well, but because we don't have time, we are not doing it. But let me conclude saying you have this done, you have all your video ready, and you want to export it. You don't want to save it as a project. You're going to export it. Export as MP3. And then you have this option. The quality is here. Quality, you can medium, standard, extreme, insane. So if you can go for insane quality if you want, but normally medium will be enough. If you're going to share it in WhatsApp, the medium quality will be enough. And you see which folder you're saving it, and you save, and you get that product out there. So whether it is a recording you make, or when you are taking a class simultaneously, you can record it here. Only the audio can be recorded. All those things are possible. And finally, in OBS Studio, one interesting thing you can do is, as I was saying, you can record the programs that you take part in. You can pin the speaker only to your screen if you want, if you don't want to see the other participants and the screen. For example, when you have a recording of a Zoom discussion, very often it looks very dead. You have a blank screen with many icons there. Using OBS Studio, you can only select one part. You can only the speaker you can bring in, and then you make a recording, and that becomes an interesting recording which you can use for your learning and teaching. I think I'll conclude at this point. I do not know how much I was able to help you, but yeah.